Is now a bad time to buy? Let's talk about that and more in this week's segment of Market Watch. Hi there, and thank you for joining me for this week's segment of Market Watch. My name is Joshua Barks. I grew up here in Boise, and I'm an associate broker with Keller Realty Boise with over 7 years of real estate experience. So if you're new here, that's a little about me. I'm also working on improving my channel, so if there's anything specific you'd like me to cover in future videos, please let me know. I've been thinking about doing some real estate 101s, but I'm not really sure where to start. I don't know what would be most helpful for you. So let me know what you want me to cover in the comments below or reach out to me. And also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you can keep up to date with our future releases. As for this week's report, there's a link in the description below for the written version, so you can check that out as well if you're interested. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into this week's numbers for the Boise area. First off, inventory. We saw a slight uptick in the available homes with over 100 new listings coming to market this week, and that's the first time we've been over 100 on a weekly basis since before the holiday. The overall number of available homes, however, stayed about the same, with 607 active listings compared to the 603 we had at the same time last week. But I expect inventory to increase as we approach spring. As for pending sales, we are continuing to see pending sales increase. We have 433 pending right now, which is up 6% from last week. However, this week we saw a slight decline in the new pending contracts, with only 105 pending sales compared to the 122 we had this time last week. So overall, I'd say demand is remaining fairly stable, and I expect to see demand continue to rise modestly as we get into the nicer weather as well. As for cancellations, we saw 25 homes get pulled off market the past week. For context, this same time last year, we had only 15 cancellations. Again, it's possible we'll see several of these cancellations come back to market once they re-strategize, but I'm certain a handful of these are simply sellers who decided they don't want to sell anymore. However, for sellers right now, it's still considered a seller's market, but things just aren't nearly as crazy as they have been for the past couple of years. Negotiations are happening again. Buyers are asking for inspection repairs and or closing cost credits and things like that. It's similar to what we experienced normally prior to the pandemic. So we're in a similar market situation now to what we saw in the 2010s. So think 2013 to 2016. Pricing your home correctly is imperative in this market because buyers finally have options. So if you're selling, you'll want to dive into it with both eyes wide open with this knowledge. On the flip side, I've also heard several people mention that they think now is a terrible time to buy and be a buyer. The truth of the matter is, it depends on your situation. If you're planning on buying a place to flip and make a quick buck, yeah, this is probably not the market for you, especially if you're planning on selling again this year. If you're buying an investment property that you're looking to rent out long term, there are opportunities available for you right now. If you're buying a home, maybe it's your first time, and your plan is to stay for the next 5 to 10 years, you're very likely in a great position to buy now if you can afford it, because real estate generally appreciates in the long run, and you can get, major repairs done and things like that. If you're thinking about selling your home and then buying another one in the same market, it doesn't really matter what the market is doing because it all comes out in a wash in the end. Anyways, sure, you might be buying high, but you're also selling high. Or maybe you're buying low, but you're also selling low. So the point is, whether or not it's the right time for you depends more about you and your situation rather than the market as a whole. So just ask yourself really, do you have a good reason to move? And can you afford it? If you've answered yes, buy with confidence and know that you're making the best decision that's right for you and your family right now. When we're talking about mortgage rates, we're at 6.12% for the 30-year fixed, which is a slight uptick from last week's 6.09, but basically the same. This stabilization in interest rates is great news for the real estate market as we head into spring. However, the Fed has indicated they're still planning on raising the Fed rate several times this year. and they have no indication of reducing the Fed rate anytime soon. That's because of the last week's strong jobs report, as well as inflation numbers being higher than what they want to see. This will likely lead to mortgage rates rising again sometime this year. Hopefully those increases, though, will be significantly less than what we saw last year, but it's very likely we'll end the year with higher rates than we have right now. That's what I have for you this week. So next week will be our deep dive into the first set of market dynamics for the year. We'll be taking a look at how January fared, so we'll touch on national numbers a little bit as well. And please be sure to like the video if you haven't already, and also subscribe to the channel because it really helps. And I hope you found this video informative. And if you need more information or you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. I'm here to be a resource for you and all your real estate needs. So I put these together to help you be informed. I hope to see you next time on Market Watch, and have a fantastic weekend.